Hi guys, welcome to my full self-tanning routine. I'm so excited to show you guys this video. Let's jump right in. First things first, always be prepared. The three things that you want to do before you even start your tan is exfoliate, shave, and moisturize. So I usually do mine the day before I plan my tan because I'm a little bit eczema prone, but you can do this in the morning if you'd like, or right before if that works for you. So exfoliate the entire body, shave what you need to, and then moisturize as much as you can. Really get into the crevices, your knuckles, ankles, all of that kind of stuff, and just really, really moisturize. Then when you're ready to start your tan, you're going to plan your tan. So just take a few minutes before you're going to start your tanning and do this little checklist. One is make sure that you're ready to air dry for a little bit, and make sure that you're done with touching water for the night. So whether that's your dinner being ready or cleaning the house, doing dishes, making your dinner, just say, okay, for the next couple hours while my tan is setting in, before I rinse it off, for these amount of hours, I'm prepared to not touch water. That is going to be key. It's one of my favorite tips I've ever gotten, and it's a full game changer. That way you don't have like a panic attack or have like some weird kind of streak running down your leg. Even think about your water bottle. If you have a glass cup or glass water bottle, just be really mindful during that setting time of your tan. Number two, after you air dry for a little bit, obviously wear loose clothing. So kind of plan your outfit. If it's gonna be a robe or if you're sleeping in it, you can do like long, comfortable pants and a big oversized long sleeve shirt, just as covered up as you can be while still being loose. That way it's not affecting the tan and making little crease marks in your skin. After you have fully planned your tan and you're ready to go, you're gonna need tan tools. Number one is gonna be your nitrile gloves. These I like. You can actually use these to put your tan on, but I like them just to protect my hand from getting tanner on it. So I like to put these on underneath my tanning mitt. This little tan towel, I like all the brands. I've purchased the ones that have like a little cuff and it has a thumb. I like a lot of different ones. This is just a tan towel and it has like a little kind of spongy side. I just use the nitrile glove. That way I don't get tan like on my palm or on my hand until I'm ready to actually do my hand. So I like to use these. And then in addition to the tanning glove and the tanning mitt, I really like to use a makeup brush as well. So little makeup brush. I like the dual-ended brushes because I'll put product on one side. I like to use it for my hands and my ankles and my knees, my face and neck, just like kind of those more bony areas for little touch-ups. I like to use the double-sided. I'll put tanner on one side to kind of apply, and then because there's a lot of product still on that side of the brush, I'll use the other side of the brush to kind of fluff it out and like move the product through and disperse it a little bit more seamlessly, as opposed to having something that has a saturated product on the brush. So I really like the dual end and the gloves. And then again, you're gonna use a little bit of lotion. I really like to use this just on the areas that are gonna be a little drier and have a lot of creases. So I'll put this on my toes, on my ankles, cut that back of my ankle where that skin scrunches, and then on my hands, and I'll just moisturize. You can do a little bit on your elbows, a little bit on your knees, maybe a tiny bit on your collarbone, just areas where there's a little bit more boniness and you want just a little bit more moisturizer. That way the product of the tan doesn't collect too much in those areas. We're hopping straight into application. I like to start from bottom to top. That way when I bend over, my stomach doesn't have a crease, like if I do my tanner up top first and then you bend over to do your legs. So I always start from bottom to top, and I'll do my face and my hands last.
Starting with my lower leg, I like to use 1 to 2 pumps in the center of my leg and then use the remaining product that's on my mitt to move towards my ankle, my foot, and my knee. It just helps the product look a little bit more natural and not collect on your bony prominences. I highly recommend starting with 1 pump, moving through, see how it goes, how you feel about it, and then you can always add more, but you can't add less. Here I'm showing you just to do a little dollop for your feet. You can blot the product on the top of your foot, work it down. Just be careful if you are not standing on a towel that it can get a little messy. Just filling in any areas that need a little bit more product, and then you're going to take the other side and just buff it out and smooth it around. Use your own discretion of if you need a little bit more here and there, and really just kind of paint the foot. Moving on to my upper leg, I'm taking 2 pumps and I'm working it through the center of my leg all the way around as best I can. Taking the remainder of the product that's on the mitt, I'm going to work that down into my knee, up towards my glute and my bikini line, creating a smooth transition. I wanted to show you here with my tummy that I start with the most product right in the center, and then I do the same technique. I'm gonna work it down into the areas that are a little bit smaller. So right underneath my chest and down towards my bikini. For my back, I like to do 2 pumps, and I just move around as best I can. This is my ultimate tip. You take the tanning mitt and you flip it to where the spongy side is on the back of your hand. I really wanted to just show you guys my hand placement here. I do a little chicken wing and I just awkwardly do my back the best I can. I want to show you a few other techniques I have to get the product on my back. I reach across and I try to just stretch as close as I can to center, switch over to the other hand, do the same thing on the other side. Obviously, it's a little harder with my left hand. I'll take the mitt to the back of my hand and do that weird little chicken wing. Moving to the upper body, I'm taking 1 pump on my chest because it's a thinner area and there's a lot more edges and things that can get a lot of product caught in them. So I'm just working the product through, and then I'm going to use the very tip of my mitt to kind of blend in through my neck and underneath my jawline. This is how I do my upper back. I just kind of stretch over and blend what I can in through the center. Again, I'll switch the mitt over to my other hand and just really try to get all of those areas that I feel are still missing product. I'll blend a little bit more through my shoulders and just really make sure that this area is highly, highly blended in. For my arms, I take the majority of the product over on top and then work it down and around and kind of throughout my arm. I like the most product to be on top because I think it gives a little bit of contour, and I like my shoulders to be dark. I take just a little bit of the product that's left on my mitt, work it over my elbow while the elbow is bent, and then back through all the other little areas. Here I've added 1 more pump. I'm going for my other arm, starting at the top, getting most of my product on my shoulder, working it underneath the arm, and then through all of the smaller spaces, my elbow, my forearm, and then working it back up and just really trying to blend everything in. I did want to mention kind of that bra fat area, like right by your armpit. I'm pretty gentle with that area and try not to do too much product there, because when you open your arm, you want to put product there, but then when you close it, the skin kind of concentrates. So I usually do just a little bit of product. We are ready to throw those gloves away and do our hands. Our hands are prepped with lotion. I'm taking a little dollop on one side of my makeup brush and I'm going to dabble it onto the top of my hand, working it back towards my wrist. You can start on the wrist or on the forearm, honestly, and move it the other way if you want to do that. But then you flip the brush and use that side of the brush that has no product on it to buffer out and get into the creases. So we're smoothing it out, just like you would makeup. You're applying your contour and then dispensing it throughout the rest of the skin. You wanna make this weird claw with your hand to get into all the little creases of the knuckles and in between the fingers. Be very gentle with your wrist. I like to just use the rest of my product, a little light touch to go onto the wrist, and no big deal if you get it on your palm. You can take a makeup wipe later and do little touch-ups. So I'm gonna let you guys just kind of watch me do my hand. A lot of times I'll bend my fingers and just get all over the crevices, but I'm not adding any more product than that dollop. Here's just a quick little before and after. You can see how light my hand is. I'm very, very gentle and mild with the amount of product that I use on each hand. I know that the hands can be really tricky, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other hand for you. That way you have another point of reference in case I naturally just do something different on this side. But basically, I really just wanna be very gentle over that wrist bone, and getting into the creases of your knuckles is one of the most important things. Not leaving it splotchy and just smoothing it out. Remember, you can touch up anything later. We can always take a little makeup remover wipe, remove what we need to do, and then kind of start over if we need to. You can always add more, but you can't add less. So just be very sparing and just try to blend it in the best that you can, keeping your knuckles really soft. That way the product gets through your creases.
For the face, they do make specific tanning products just for your face. I just use this one. I'm not acne prone and I just like this one. So I do the same way that I use on my hands. I just do a tiny little dollop. You can also take a little cup or the back of your nitrile glove or something like that if you don't want to put it directly onto the back of your brush, but I'll just go like this and I'll put it on my face. I do a little bit of contour actually, where I'll try to put the majority of the product almost like my bronzer and underneath my chin, and then you can use the other side to kind of blend it out. So it kind of looks like that. Get a brush that doesn't have, the bristles don't fall out. So that's kind of what I do. I just treat it a little bit like makeup, like a little bit of permanent bronzer or a bronzer stain. And I like to go back into my hairline. So if you guys even want to do it like before your hair wash day, I'll just take like, I won't take the full product, you know, just kind of whatever's left on the brush and just push it back in a little bit to my hairline and like sometimes back behind my ear. That way it's really, really seamless. And you have kind of like this nice, just bronzy look on your skin. Okay, so I did a full layer on my face. My last 2 tips to take your tan from good to great is we're going to fine tune the imperfections. So you can grab a makeup wipe or just a damp towel and you can wipe your palm, wipe the tops of your nails and toes. You can even take a little Q-tip if you got any underneath the nails and just be really careful, but we're gonna fine tune the areas of the imperfections. You can take your brush and kind of go over any areas that maybe have a little bit more product or add in a little bit of contour if you wanna do a tiny little bit of contour on your abs, things like that. So you're just gonna take a couple extra minutes and just see what needs to be addressed and go for it. My last tip is I always wash my hands, feet, and sometimes my face first. I use the Loving Tan 2-Hour Express. There's a lot of different formulas that I like. I can link a few of them for you, but I do really like this one. It's the dark. So I will set my timer for about 30 minutes when I'm doing this. If I do a longer one, I'll maybe do 45 minutes or an hour, and I'll wash my hands, my feet, and sometimes my face before the full time. That way, even though I'm doing a lighter coat, I'm just extra sure that my hands, my feet, and my face aren't going to look like this. Sometimes it can get a little crazy looking. And then in addition to that, just be really careful because I told you not to touch water. When I wash my hands, you can either use like a makeup towelette or a wet towel, or I'll just take the faucet really low and I'll just let it kind of drip from my like top of my hand down, and then I keep it like this and wipe it with a towel. So it's a little bit of finesse, but it's totally worth it. That way you don't have like a lot of buildup on your palms or like crazy looking knuckles like can happen a lot of the time. Thank you guys for watching. That completes my full self-tanning routine. If you guys have any questions, please comment below. I would love to hear your tips and tricks for an amazing tan.